I taught 3,000 students how to read, how to think, how to dream bigger than their circumstances. But I never taught my own son how to ride a bike. My name is Harold. I'm 87 years old. I spent 41 years shaping young minds. And I would give anything to take back the way I spent my time. I live in a small house in Ohio now, the same house where I raised two children I barely knew. For 4 decades, I was Mr. Brennan to everyone in town, the teacher who arrived first and left last, the one who tutored struggling students on weekends. Everyone called me dedicated. My wife called me something else, absent. I don't talk about my teaching awards anymore. They're in a box somewhere in the attic. What I talk about now is the price of those awards, the cost no one warned me about. If you've ever felt torn between ambition and presence, between building something and simply being there, stay until the end. Because what I understand now, at 87, might save you decades of the same quiet ache I carry. I started teaching in 1961. I was 23, idealistic, on fire with purpose. I came from nothing. My father worked in a factory, never read a book in his life. I wanted to be the person I never had, the teacher who changed everything, and I was. I threw myself into lesson plans like they were sacred texts. I memorized every student's name by the second day. I stayed until the janitor kicked me out. My daughter, Ellen, was born in 64. My son, Michael, in 67. I remember holding them in the hospital. I remember thinking, I'm going to give you everything. But somewhere along the way, everything became everything except me. The school needed me. The struggling kids needed me. The after-school program needed me. And somehow, my own children's needs became background noise. I missed Ellen's first steps. I was grading papers. I missed Michael's first word. I was at a parent-teacher conference for someone else's child. My wife would leave a plate of dinner wrapped in the oven. I'd come home at 9, 10 o'clock. The kids were already asleep. I'd look at that cold plate and think, tomorrow I'll be home earlier. Tomorrow came 3,000 times, and 3,000 times I chose the classroom. The moment I can't forget happened in 1982. I was 44. Michael was 15. It was a Tuesday. I came home early for once, a rare thing, a canceled faculty meeting. I walked through the front door at 4:30, almost giddy to surprise everyone. The house was quiet. I found Michael in the backyard shooting hoops alone. I watched through the kitchen window for a moment, then stepped outside. Hey, son, want some company? He looked at me, and in that look I saw something that broke me. Not anger. Anger I could have handled. It was indifference. Nah, he said, I'm used to playing alone. 5 words, spoken without malice, without accusation, just fact. I stood frozen on the back porch as my son kept shooting, never looking back. That was the first time I understood. I hadn't been building a legacy. I'd been building a wall, brick by brick, late night by late night, and my own son was on the other side, and he'd stopped trying to climb over. That night, I sat in my car in the driveway for an hour. Just sat there. My wife eventually came out, knocked on the window. Are you okay? I wasn't, but I didn't have words for it yet. I just said, I think I've made a terrible mistake. But here's the tragedy within the tragedy. Even after that moment, I didn't change. Not really. The school year was almost over. Then summer programs. Then the fall rush. The wall stayed. I'm 87 now. My wife passed 6 years ago. Ellen lives in California. She calls on birthdays. Michael lives 20 minutes away. We haven't spoken in 2 years. People ask me about my teaching career. They want to hear about the students who became doctors, lawyers, writers. And yes, I'm proud of them. But pride doesn't keep you warm at night. Pride doesn't call you on a Sunday just to check in. So let me tell you what I've learned, what took me a lifetime to understand. We treat presence like it's passive, like just being there isn't enough. But presence is the whole thing. It's everything. The lesson I taught best was the one I never meant to teach, that work matters more than family. My children learned it perfectly. There's a myth that you can catch up later, that kids are resilient, that they'll understand. They do understand. That's the problem. They understand exactly what you chose. Everyone talks about work-life balance like it's a scale. But it's not a scale. It's a window, and windows close. The window to carry your daughter on your shoulders, it closes. The window to teach your son to drive, it closes. The window to be the one they run to with their heartbreaks, it closes. And no amount of career success can reopen a closed window. Maybe you're watching this in a home office. Maybe you're on a lunch break you almost didn't take. Maybe there's a game tonight you're thinking of skipping. A dinner you're considering cutting short. I'm not here to guilt you, but I want you to ask yourself, honestly, what window is open right now that might not be open next year? Who is waiting for you? Not your obligation, not your attention when you're half checked in, your actual presence. Here's what I want you to know. What I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders and told me 40 years ago. You will never regret leaving work early to watch your kids' terrible school play. You will never regret the promotion you didn't chase because it meant missing everything. But the opposite will follow you into every quiet room for the rest of your life. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to abandon ambition. But you might need to disappoint some people who aren't going to hold your hand at the end. Choose carefully who you disappoint. I'm running out of time now. I feel it, the way you feel, evening coming, even before the sun starts to drop. And I need you to hear this. Really hear it. Your children don't need you to be successful. They need you to be there, in the room, paying attention, choosing them, even when something else seems more important. I was a wonderful teacher and a ghost of a father. I'd trade every award, every thank you card, every tearful graduation speech for one more afternoon in that backyard, just shooting hoops, just being there. The windows are open now for you, for your people. Don't wait until you're 87 to notice. Don't end up like me.